Hello, Rise Up Visionaries. I'm Susan May, and I'm here to share my random ramblings on life and anything that goes through my brain to inspire you to tune into your intuition so you can begin your journey of unplugging. So it's Friday. It's getting kind of late. I don't know. This is kind of an experiment. This is probably the latest I've ever done a live. So I hope you are all well, looking forward to the weekend, that you had a good week. And I just wanted to talk a little bit more about unschooling because that has been the topic of the week over on my Rise Up with Susan May page. I'm doing a book giveaway that ends tonight. So if you haven't entered yet, there's still time. And the book is Life Through the Lens of Unschooling by Pam Laricia. And it's a great book. It has my highlighting in it, so you'll have to deal with that, but you get my personal copy mailed to you if you win the giveaway. And today's blog that I shared on my page, an old throwback blog post, was about screen time. So my family really embraced what many people call radical unschooling, which means we didn't stop applying unschooling philosophies at school subjects like math and reading and science. And instead, we applied the philosophies of unschooling to our whole life and our relationships and as a family together, which means that I had to learn a lot about how to trust my kids and learning about things like bedtime and learning about their food and learning about screen time. So screen time is one of those controversial topics that comes up in unschooling circles all the time, because it is something that many parents intuitively feel that they don't want their children constantly on a screen, whether that's a phone that I'm on right now, or a pad of some sort, an iPad, or a computer, or a TV. So we kind of lump all those things into one thing and then call it screen time. And so I read about this and read different families' experiences and kind of started to grasp the idea of it. And one of the big things that helped me understand is this idea of scarcity. And Pam Sorishan, I don't know if I said her name right. It's in one of the posts that I shared, a link to her writing, and she talked about the economics of limiting something, including TV. And basically, if you limit something, it makes it higher value, right? It's just like capitalism, right? If there's less of something, then it increases in value. And so when we as parents try to stop our kids from doing something that they really, really like, it makes them want it more. So that is, I think, pretty logical, and I think we can all understand that. And yet we still struggle sometimes with, well, but this isn't good for them. It doesn't seem good for them. And so our family was, we're just like any other family. We have our times where we're wonder, oh, are we doing the right thing? Or they really seem like they're doing this too much. But I will say that I have seen the benefits of not putting artificial limits on our children. And they just continue to astound me. And it's going to be hard to say in one video all of the benefits, because this is just kind of a really in-depth conversation and it's long. And so if you're wondering more about this, I would love to answer more questions about it. I think it's more difficult when children are small. And so that was a time, when they're little, when they're 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you're like, oh gosh. And I think one thing that I learned from people that I respect is, you offer things like, hey, do you want to do this other thing with me? Do you want to bake with mommy? Or let's go outside, instead of saying, do you want, let's do this now. And lots of times they're fine with that. Like, you can be like, oh, let's turn the TV off and let's go play with Play-Doh, or let's do this. And then if they had a really strong reaction, I might say, oh, you still want to watch another show? Okay. And what I would do is maybe sit with them and watch if I felt that we were disconnected. Because a lot of times when we try to swoop in and change things instead of reconnecting with our kids first, that is one of the big issues, that, you know, they're having a good time and you're just trying to stop them. I will say that our kids over the years, especially our big kids, have had times, both of them, where people wouldn't be comfortable with how much they watch TV or were on their computers or this and that. And even to this day, Jerry is a computer boy, loves it. He's on it. It's like his office. It's like his job. He gets up in the morning and he goes to his computer and he's pretty much on his computer most of the day. And I know that makes a lot of people uncomfortable. There have been things over the years that have helped me get comfortable with it. One, kids in school are in desks all day. So I'm like, well, that's his desk, okay? And he's not bored. I mean, sometimes he's bored. I'm not going to say he's never bored. But he's doing what he wants to do. He's choosing to do it. He can always stop. And he does stop. He will stop and come talk to us. He will come outside. Sometimes, I'm not saying he does those things a lot, but he is free to do those things, which is a big difference between him and someone in school. The other big thing is that I've just seen how much he learns and how smart he is. Like when we talk to him, I'm just like, oh my gosh, you know so many things. And so that is like the beauty of this lifestyle, is that they get to choose, like, you know, what they're learning and what they're interested in. Now, I will say also, this is totally stream of consciousness, just so you know, I don't have a lot of notes or anything. I'm just, as things come into my head, I know there is so much worry these days about internet safety and things that kids can get into. Now, what I've realized over even just the past couple weeks is that a lot of these parenting things unfolded so naturally in our family because we started with this attachment parenting model with our kids, and we co-slept with our kids. Now, you're probably wondering, what does co-sleeping have to do with screen time? Well, there is a direct connection, and I really just kind of made that leap recently in my mind of what the connection is. Because our kids slept with us and were in our bedroom, you know, till they were 5, 6, 7 years old. And then really what became most comfortable for them when Carter was born and when Marisol really still wanted someone to be in her room when she went to sleep, which of course was very difficult for me when I had 2 younger siblings. Eventually I realized, oh my gosh, Jerry can sleep in her room. She had a trundle bed, and to this day they share a room, and it is one of the best things. I mean, it is a beautiful relationship that these 2 kids have, a 15-year-old daughter and our 12-year-old son. And what does this have to do with screen time? Let me bring it back to that. They have always wanted to be with me because they've been with me, you know, from the day they were born. And so their computers were always in our common areas, in our living room, or pretty much our living room. And now we have like a front living area room that they each have a desk. They're together. They game together all the time. They talk to their friends in England all the time, like almost every day. Their 2 best friends are British. So we've never had this issue of them going off in their room and being isolated and not knowing, you know, they're on their computers out here with us. And so that is like an incredible benefit of just how it wasn't that we did it purposely, it's just how it naturally unfolded. And there's no resistance from them that they want to be apart from us, that they want to be, you know, in their own bedroom or anything like that. So that has been awesome. And so I told you on Monday that I had another really good discussion with them, and they both put limits on themselves. Like Jerry says, I don't want a phone, because he has heard Marisol say things about like social media and things that he doesn't even want to be on social media, because she's talked about how different things made her feel bad, and she took herself off. She stopped herself from going on social media because she realized it didn't feel good for her and it wasn't making her happy. And so it's been really incredibly interesting to see how they navigate things. Like, I think Marisol is more responsible than me lots of times online. Like, she is just very cautious and safe and doesn't talk to like a lot of strangers, and they're very careful with their information. And so it's really incredible for me to see how these kids just grow up without me putting all these strict guidelines and rules and limitations on them. And so that's just what I want to share with you. I know every family's different. I also just want to put in this caveat that, like, you know, I'm never one to say like our way was the right way or the only way, or to try and make people feel bad if they did things differently. That's not my point. I just like to share so people can see that a different way is possible, and that maybe they might be interested to know more. So that's just a little bit about our screen time journey. I'm sure there are so many more things I could say, but this is getting long. And so I'm going to wrap it up here. And if you haven't entered that book giveaway yet and you're interested in winning that book about unschooling, go find the pinned post at the top of my page and just like it and tell me in the comments. I want to be entered because I'm going to do the drawing tomorrow. I may even do it live if I'm motivated. And yeah, and make sure you liked my page. Thank you to everyone who shared, especially my friend Laura Swain. She has a great page, Learning with Laura Swain. Thank you for sharing, and I appreciate you all. And so remember, be bold, be brave, be you, because who else is there to be? I love you all, and I'll see you again soon, probably tomorrow for the giveaway, and then I'll see you again Monday when I announce my next book giveaway. Thanks for celebrating Together Walking with me. I'll see you later. Bye.